How's it going, everyone? David from DoD Media. Today I want to show you a tutorial on how to create this audio transition effect, which I've been using recently in my videos just before the intro reel starts. It's nothing new, it's a trick that's been used in cinema for decades, in trailers and teasers, just to kind of build tension. But it's also a great way of transitioning away from a song when you can't quite finish the song on a beat or where you would like to finish it, and you just have to kind of cut it, and it's just so much nicer than a hard cut or a fade out or that kind of thing. So let's check it out. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to be showing you this in Premiere Pro, but you can do this in literally any editing software that allows you to slice. So if you're watching this but you don't use Premiere Pro, you can still follow this along. It's exactly the same. Alright, let's jump into Premiere Pro. Okay, and here we are in Premiere Pro, and here's the intro that you just watched. Here's me putting my hand to my ear to listen for the effect that we're about to create, and then my intro reel starts playing, and that's where it transitions. The thing is, this music track that I have down here, it doesn't end there, and it's kind of just building into the momentum of that music. The pace of it is just kind of setting itself. And I don't want to have to fade that out. I don't want to have to do a hard cut, and I don't want to have to go to the very end of that and choose the ending so that it plays just as the ending before the intro, because I want it to be more of a staggered cut. And so it's pretty simple. If we play this back without any edit, from that moment there is where I'm going to start doing the cuts. So I'm going to select the music track, and you can either use the blade here, the razor tool with C, or you can do Control K or Command K, and it will slice the selected clip at the playhead. Now I have this set as a shortcut on my mouse button, so that all I have to do is click it and it does Control or Command K on the clip. And that's really helpful because it's a tool that I use every single time I edit, so it's handy to have it as a shortcut. Okay, so then skip ahead one frame using the right arrow, hit Command or Control K again, or use the cut tool, and just cut out that one frame. Then skip 2 frames, do the same thing again, 1 frame, get rid of it. Then just jump 1 frame, cut again, and then the same thing, cut again, and then finally just, I don't know, maybe jump 2 frames. This is where having random pattern really works nicely. Okay, and now let's just play this back. Let's delete those 3 because they actually sound a little strange. Check it out. Okay, now that sounds pretty basic as it is. It sounds like something's just glitching a bit. So if we come down to Effects, Audio Effects, then there's a bunch of stuff we can do depending on what you want this to sound like. You could quite easily put a phaser on this. And then come up to Effect Controls, select that clip. Let's copy it onto the others with Control or Command C. And then finally, you could even play around with the pitch a little bit. So if you hit R on your keyboard, it brings up your time remapping tool, and you could just drag that along there for 1 frame. So you're doubling the length of it, and then clip away that extra frame that you had. So essentially you're keeping half of a frame of what you had before. Let's do the same thing on this one here. Cut that there and get rid of that. It's just quite a nice alternative way of cutting away from a song without having to do a hard cut, without having to fade it out, without having to mess around with trying to mask it up so that it finishes on a beat or on the end of the song. Now this is a trick that definitely works better when there isn't a solid beat in the track that you're using. So this track that I've used isn't actually all that ideal. Something that is a slower, droning kind of track will work a lot better because the suddenness of that glitching, that stutter, will just draw your viewer's attention straight back in, right when it's about to transition or cut to a next scene. And there you go, it's super simple, but it's a trick that has obviously stood the test of time because it's still used heavily in every single trailer for an action film, for a thriller, for a horror. But it doesn't only have to be used for that, it can be used just like this as well. Alright, I hope you found this interesting, educational, inspiring even, and I hope you use this to make your edits just sound that little bit more interesting, that little bit more polished. Give this a thumbs up if you liked what you saw, hit that subscribe button to get more videos from me at DoD Media. Hit the little bell there so that you get notified when I release a new video. Leave a comment in the comment section if you use this technique already or if you have a different way of doing it. If I find it useful, you may win something free from my store. see you in the next video.